In the initial scene, a lawbreaker named Lorenzo Vitale is driving with his grandson to a winery in Sicily, requesting that his grandson stay in the vehicle. Just to find that his grandson has a lot of them as he wanders into the loathsomeness experience. Strolling into the storm cellar, a resigned U.S. Marine named Robert McCall, who was fiercely killed, and working room 2 of Lorenzo's guardians at gunpoint, inquire as to why he's here. To which Robert answers that Lorenzo claims something. After Robert kills different colleagues and Lorenzo, he sees Lorenzo's grandson in the vehicle at the winery and teaches the kid to remain still. Yet, the kid shoots Robert toward the back and takes off, figuring out how to get on the ship to get back to Robert, but harmed. Subsequent to being oblivious for quite a while because of shots, a neighborhood carabinier named Giovannucci tracked down him in this territory and chose to take him to a far-off seaside Italian town. Conversing with a specialist named Emma Collins, he gave her a tip about a winery in Sicily and the way things were associated with unlawful medication dealing, concealing his standard exercises and passing on this data. Robert sees a neighborhood fish seller being thumped by a high-positioning man one day, undermining the residents with standard installments prior to leaving. A Camorra part named Marco Quaranta compromises Angelo to return the next week to gather the cash, while the hoodlums endeavor to leave the structure drove by Marco's sibling Vincent Quanta, the head of the Camorra. The camera markets their great plan in the city, fabricating new lodgings, resorts, and gambling clubs. Furthermore, in one of the structure's rooms, an old man in a wheelchair is hauled somewhere near gangsters. Emma and other CIA officials find millions in real money at the winery, alongside packs brimming with unlawful medications concealed in the storeroom, and these exercises put Emma and her accomplice, Honest Conroy, off their radar and choose to dive deep. He gets ready to leave town, however, when he hears the chime, he stops and the residents race to Angelo's shop, provoking him to follow them as Marco and his posse set Angelo's shop ablaze. In spite of this strength, the residents can do nothing, and later Robert, alongside a portion of the town's kin, assist Angelo with clearing the group. Gio audits film of the firebombing and calls the Italian focal police to ask about the van. Sometime thereafter, as Gio goes to get his girl from school, he discovers that Gabby's school is somewhat sooner than different children, and he gets a call from a telephone number that lets him know that Gabby is going to class. The official gets Gabby back a condition of frenzy, just to get back to find his significant other and girl caught by Camorra shooters and beaten before the family for slowing down the posse's undermined business. Rankled, Marco gets back with his partners in crime and plans to kill Robert, however they can't proceed their arrangement. A van passes 2 of his hands, and at one point, Marco snatches him with a blade, forces Marco, and Robert even takes steps to fight back, slicing his neck and killing him, yet in the end he doesn't kill her. Demise becomes irritated and compromises the boss to zero in on tracking down the man behind Marco's passing. After he removes the Central's hand and sends Emma to the medical clinic with one hand put away in a fridge somewhere else. At night, Vincent will accept Gio and his family as a prisoner, and his sibling's executioner gets no data. Vincent shoots Gio in the ear and takes steps to kill him again with a firearm on the off chance that Robert uncovers himself. Vincent, pleased like his sibling, didn't remain before the residents, saying he was prepared to take him and torment him, demanding that local people should demonstrate the outcomes against the Camorra. The residents record the occurrence as the criminals retreat before Vincent can kill him, and that evening, Robert slips into Vincent's home and quietly kills Vincent's protectors individually as he dozes. Surprised by a drop of blood on his brow, the criminal at last implodes on the cobbled roads of Naples, capitulates to a medication excess, and visits Robert in the emergency clinic the following morning to offer thanks for saving her life, tossing her wallet on the floor and offering it to her, on the off chance that Robert and Dyer are companions, as the following scene makes sense of. They've just met once. How could anybody ask why Emma goes to Boston to give Greg and his significant other, Greg and his better half, the name of a liberal sponsor? It took such a long time for an outsider. Yet after Emma left, Greg, his better half, cheerfully requested that his significant other pack everything so they wouldn't need to forfeit their home at CIA base camp in Langley. Needing to know the explanation, Virginia, straight to the point, shocks Emma by giving Emma a BU. NDLA containing the journal and a note from Robert, drawing an obvious conclusion in the last scene, where Robert discovers that he is, in all honesty, a companion of the occupants' folks. Provision is seen praising at a football matchup, and Robert is likewise associated with commending with some limit lines, yet as one of the neighborhood. Buy in for additional recordings like this, so turn on these notices and pass on a